So what are we doing?
Go to fishing and buy worms and get our fishing rod and go fishing.
Well, there we are then, guys. So sorry I haven't put a video out for a little while, but life is just so busy at the moment and I've been flat out doing stuff. But I've got a few hours today. I've got a lovely friend coming over later on to have a little look at the pond. So it's about 8 o'clock now. We're gonna go to the fishing shop, get some mud rag and go for some flat fishing in Locker Bridge, aren't we? For a few hours.
That's 3 hours.
3 hours, and then we're going to come back and we're going to mooch around the pond and do some stuff. Got to sort out the auto feeder. I've realised that the battery got run out with the solar power because of the weather last week, and it's wiped off all of my feeding regime. So I've been hand feeding for the last couple of days. So what we're going to do is mess around with that as well, and yeah, see what the day brings us. And yeah, sorry guys, but I'm back now. It's Monday, Wolf.
Monday is Santa coming Monday.
Santa's coming Monday. I'm not sure what day Christmas, kids. To change of plan, guys, I've got the pram out, all kitted out with the fishing stuff because we've had to do a bit of walking. So, yeah, hang on now, Wolfie. So this, as you can see, is called Teletubby Hill. It's in the Gower estuary, and that bit of slack water there is really good for dab. So because we couldn't get any drag this morning, all I could get was frozen baits. So I got mackerel, squid, stuff like that. So this is the only place to go really with that kind of bait, so we'll see what's happening. It's lovely, it's just a bit of a walk really. That's it, keep going. You got to do all of them all the way to the end. So this is where we're fishing, guys. Like I said, it's called Teletubby Hill. You can see it, it's like it's all been sculpted. It looks like Teletubby Hill. But these is really good for dabs here. There's a sand dredger which is over there. There's like loads of congers and all under there, believe it or not. It's great for spinning for bass in the summer. But this is Llanelli down this way, and then across there then you've got the Gower. So this is the estuary that comes down. Now what we were going to do, about 2 or 3 miles further down there, there's Locker Bridge where I cross every day to go to work. It's absolutely fantastic for flatties down there and great for spinning for bass in the summer as well. But because we didn't have any bait for down that area, we've come up here. So thank God that was in the back of the truck. So I've used that to basically ferry everything across. How you doing, Wolf? Well done, pal. Right, we're busy now. We're going to get some bait onto this one and get this out, aren't we, Wolf? Let's get that rubber through there, pal. So what have you put on there? Squid. So we've got mackerel on one and squid on the other, but I think squid's going to be better here, isn't it? So we're going to stick these onto the traces now, and we're going to cast it out, aren't we? Don't go playing with that hook, pal, because you'll be coming home with me to go into the frying pan otherwise. All right? Go on, never give up. Keep going. Keep going. Doing well there, pal. Right, so quick one. I've never actually fished this area before. I have actually. I'm talking rubbish. I fished here when I was a kid, and what I used to do is I used to stalk with a light spinning rod and some lures all the way around this coastline here. Just walk, you know, from the age of like 13, like where you can see there, just walk all the way across here. I've had some mega bass around here, because what happens is when the tide's out, what you can see is there's a big channel that squirms all the way around here. And when the tide's coming in on a warm day, the bass are everywhere. Mullet are like crazy here, but I don't really fish for mullet. But I've caught some lovely bass off there, and some lovely bass off the dredge. You can just see the dredge there. But I've never actually fished for flatties here. So I don't really know or expect anything, to be honest. But me and the boy is out. Wolfie's having a packet of crisps, aren't you? Starting to drizzle a little bit, isn't it, Wolf? Starting to rain a little bit, but you're nice and warm. But what I might do is, I've noticed Tronics has got like a little tiny pop-up shelter, and they're only cheap, so I might go back to the fishing shop later on, because to be honest, Wolf is really enjoying fishing these days, aren't you, pal? Yeah. You know, even if we don't catch anything, it's called fishing, not catching, innit? Yeah? So What have we got? This is my little setup, guys, if anybody's interested. So I've got some Tronic Pros. I bought these a few years ago. Really good rods, to be honest. Apparently, these are really sought after now, this colour combo. I'm actually going to sell these, I think, and get some black ones, because you know me. I've got some pen reels. These are my old carp fishing big pit reels from when I used to take to France, but I've just utilised them for this, and they work absolutely fine. And yeah, was it an Icon tripod? That's a really good bit of kit, to be honest. But yeah, I think I might fork out for some Centuries, but they're about 600 quid each. But I do like my kit. And I don't know, I might research a little bit into some more rods, but Tronic matches are really nice as well. But I do like the Centuries, they're really good. And obviously Centuries are a brilliant like British brand, all handmade. So I always wanted a set of Century carp rods, but in the end I ended up getting Daiwa Beziers and what I've got air curves as well. Yeah, air curves for the 13-foot air curves for France, and I've got the Daiwa 12-foot Beziers for the UK. So it's getting really good now, because Wolf's getting to the age where he's quite happy just to kick around and yeah, and just rough it, innit ya? You like it, didn't you? You love fishing? Cool. So that's what we're going to do. My mate's coming around later on. Yasmin has gone to Kent. She's coming back this evening. She went to Kent yesterday to see her sister, because her sister's a bit down in the dumps. So went to see her, cheered her up for a little bit. Fair dues to Yasmin, she's a good sister. 4.5 hour trip down, spend the evening there with her, and then 4.5 hours back this afternoon. She's a good one, bless her. But another quick one. He's interested about this. So if you can see all the rocks around here, it's all slag. Yeah, that's not a loose woman, by the way. That is the byproduct of a smelting process to extract iron and steel out of rocks, obviously. Behind this hill is Buryport. Buryport had a massive smelting station, and also all the way around Llanelli here is called, well, Llanelli's nickname is called Saucepan. And the reason is, it used to be the world's largest producer of saucepans and steel. It still is a huge one. You've got Tata Steelworks here. So in Newport, no, Port Talbot, sorry, you've got the big factory there that's that extracts all the steel, and then they sell, they send the raw billets then to Llanelli Steelworks, Tata Steel, and that's what actually produces the rolls of steel, if you know what I mean. But a funny thing as well is that if there was a nuclear war and Russia was going to be launching anything our way, I've always thought it would be quite safe. But apparently we're the largest producer of steel in Europe. So yeah, apparently we're on the hit list. Poor little town. Sun's come out. I'm in the pushchair. Wolf's playing with the stone. And the crabs are absolutely rinsing us. But it's a day out. Right, so we didn't have much luck on the old fishing. Dabs weren't around. But it's alright, I've caught another fish. Steve's come over to say hello. Wolf's up there watching Batman and playing. Hopefully he's not playing with fire. So yeah, have an hour out here with Steve now and see what's going to occur. Right, there we are then. Got the feed back on now, so I've reprogrammed this for about a kilo of food a day, roughly-ish. But I'm still on this small floating pellet. But the fish seem to like it. It clumps together and they just suck in about a dozen pellets at a time. Got my ear on that side so nothing goes down there, because their feed window is still about 10 minutes, so they're doing well. Steve's loving his little cup of tea. But we got the bowl out because Steve really wants to have a look at Keith's Kawaku down there. And I'm really curious. I want to see how much that's grown. I think I might just take out one or two just because I can. And I want to see how they've come on, how they've progressed. And yeah, just a little quick measure before they go to sleep for the rest of the year, really. Right, here we are then. So Keith's little Kawaku isn't so little anymore. Hell of a growth ethic on this fish, to be honest. Yeah, it's still interesting. It's Marmite, I guess, but the body on it is coming really nice. You know, it's got no massive volume at the moment, but the body shape is really nice. Not quite sure what's going to happen with this Dan here, whether it's going to close or whether it's going to separate, but time will tell. But it's sure it's you know, it's female. It's a really nice looking thing though, and I can't remember. Jesus Christ, I can't remember what size this is when I got it, but I think probably that must have been about 18 cm. About 18 cm when I got it. When did I get it? Was it January or December? Well, okay, so it was probably December I got this. It was 18 cm. So let's have a little look what it is now. .56 cm now. So that's not a bad little growth. 56 cm, and I can remember it was the 13th of December last year. Me and Crafty went down to select these, and that was probably 18 centimeters at the time. And the other fish I had were all a little bit smaller, about 15 to 16 centimeters, but this was 18. Yeah, but like I said, it's got a hell of a growth ethic on this fish. So bright future maybe, we'll see. So then, here we are. I had to get it out just to have a look. Superb, absolutely incredible specimen of a Ginrin Karashi by obviously Danichi. Now, when I was over there last month, I seen ponds and ponds of these Tozai, and I was thinking to myself, oh man, I'd love a scoop of those. But these things have gone incredibly pricey. They always have been, but they're still mad price on them. But I was quite impressed when I went to Saito Koi Farm. If you look back on my videos, he had some really amazing Ginrin Karashi as well that actually were beating the Danichi bloodlined Karashis in some of the local shows. So I think possibly that's definitely worth looking into, and I'm pretty sure Ryan bought half a dozen or so off him. So now when I bought this probably it was 30 centimeters when I bought this, I think probably in January. But I didn't get it posted here until maybe June. And I think in June it was, what was it in June? Wasn't it like 42 cm or something, if I can remember? But nowhere near the body of this, but we'll give it a measure. About 61. 61 cm. And have a look at this. Come in here, Steve. Look how clean that is. And look at the fucrin. Look at the fucrin on the backbone, and the scalation is absolutely amazing. I think I was talking to someone yesterday, and the retail on something like this now, I think they're asking about 5 grand. You know, that's literally that literally come out of the mouth of an actual dealer yesterday, that he's seen fish this size and this quality going for about 5 grand. So, you know, buy them cheap, grow them expensive, isn't it? But I can't remember how much I paid for this, maybe 500 quid or something like that, but I did buy it as a chargoy. And it came through the post as a Ginnering Karashi, so I was quite lucky there. Issa Koi Farm. When I went over to Issa on my last trip, I was having a chat to the main guy. I can't remember what his name is, but the guy that owns the Issa Koi Farm, I showed him this. I said, oh, I won baby champion with this in the Great British Koi Show. And he was like that. He was quite impressed. He really liked it. And he gave us a real nice tour around all of his parent fish. And he kind of showed us where the parents of this fish and all that kind of stuff. Because obviously these guys recognise their fish like their own children, do you know what I mean? So he obviously looked at that, seen the Benny, seen the Saroji, everything about it, and he thought, oh yeah, that's probably from, more than likely from this parent set, do you know what I mean? And the story with this fish is, this one baby champion in the Newark show, now I can't really take any credit for that at all. The only credit I can take is from buying it. So I bought it from Chip from Rastakoi. He phoned me up when I was in the garage just after the national, and he goes, are you doing this show? He goes, because I can't do it, but I've got a fish that really needs to be entered into a show to do itself justice. And at the time I was a bit strapped for cash, and he offered it to me for pretty much the price that he paid for it, and I bought it. So when I bought it, it was 32 cm, and obviously to keep in size of category I had to keep it to under 35 cm. So I kept it cold, and it went into the show, and yeah, and it done the goods. It got baby champion in Newark, which I was really chuffed with. But again, not really my victory that I deserve, I think. But you know, I suppose, you know, that's how the cookie crumbles. There's 2 ways to win things, isn't it? Buy the award or earn the award, and this one was bought, unfortunately. However, if this wins something next year, I will claim the victory for myself, because it's the husbandry and keeping of the koi and conditioning of the koi which actually makes a big difference. You know, anyone can part with a lot of cash and pick up a fish that's been, you know, lovingly nurtured and husbandried all the way through its life to win something, but it takes a lot of effort and a lot of skill to be able to bring these things and get everything to combine to get the fish ready for the show. So size wise, now I can't stop it growing. It's female. When I bought it off Chip, it was 32. At the Newark show, it was 33. If I could have showed at the Southeast show, but I was within the 30 days limit, so I couldn't really show there. It was just in size. So it was just under. It was 34.5 cm there then. So we'll see what it is now. But again, considering I'm still at 24 degrees, you know, the sumi quality on that is still really, really good. It could do with solidifying a little bit here, but again, the Motoguru and stuff, it is such a lovely fish. It's so deep. So it's a hell of a backbone on it. Look at that. Boom. It is absolutely lovely. Great fish. Really glad I parted with some hard-earned cash, to be honest. So I'm quite interested in measuring some of these so I can almost calculate what size and how hard to push them to keep them in size category for the national next year. So let's have a little look. 44 cm. Yeah, so 44 cm. So like I said, it's definitely a grower. So 44 cm, 44. So yeah, so in the national, that'll probably go into the category 44 to 55 cm. And hopefully I can get this as close to 55 cm as possible. And I might be able to get another young champion like the next one that we're coming out. So who knows? Let's see. We will have to find find out and see how this progresses. But the pond's working well, the fish are growing well, and it's just patience, isn't it? It's just patience. Koi is definitely a time hobby of trying to get the feeding right for the different sizes that you want to hit the categories. But then again, you know, when you've got 22 fish trying to go into different size categories, it's quite hard to be able to judge what temperature and how much to feed each fish, especially when they're different ages. Not that I've got a massive gap in the ages there. They're like in here now, it's basically Nisai and Yonsai, I guess. Right then guys, so here we are. So this is my mud pond event fish with Koi Wholesale via exclusively Koi. So last year around about this time I selected this exact koi from a picture from the NND koi farm. I think it was, I'll get the certificate out in a minute to show you. Even though the picture's a little bit worse for wear, you can actually see the development of this fish as well, which is quite dramatic. I think the fish was 21 cm when I picked it up. I think the price was $5.95, I think $5.95, I'm sure it was, and that's with Azakari. So obviously it went into the mud ponds. Actually, Fujio actually did say that that was the #1 tozai going into the mud ponds in his opinion, and actually it was the #1 tozai coming out of the mud pond. So I was really lucky there that it's held its quality. The sashi is a little bit deep on the both of the dans there, but that doesn't bother me because eventually that is gonna tighten up in later life, which is actually gonna only make the fish a better quality later on in its life. So it's not going to go downhill, it's only going to get better hopefully. But when I bought the fish, like I said, I took this to Newark, but I took it to the National and it had a first, but it didn't have a major. And then I got rid of some fish between the National and the actually, stop that a minute. Oh, sorry about that break guys, I've just put a little bit of sedate in here because my fish are so warm and they're full of life, so I don't want any jumping out. But yeah, when I bought this, yeah, when it went to the National, it had a first. I can't remember exactly what size it was. Maybe it was about 40, 41 cm. But it didn't quite have the body of it as it is now. So I got rid of a load of fish, and with that month in between, or that 6 weeks in between the two shows, with less fish in my pond, this thing actually really did develop a lot more body and a lot more strength. Now, obviously, you know, when I'm saying body, I've seen fish in Japan which have got bodies like bloody Linford Christie's lunchbox, but like it's a lot better than it was. And I went to the Newark show, hit a good size. I think it was 44 cm, and yeah. It just done the business, and it came back with young champion, which I was really buzzing with that. And like I said, compared to the baby champion, I actually would own this victory, because this fish has been developed by myself in my pond for a long period of time before the show. So that's the main difference. But what I'll do now is I'll go and get the certificate for you quick. So, yeah, there we are. My memory is correct. Yeah, it was 21 cm when I bought it. So I know the picture is a little bit worse for wear. But if you can see, look out, I can see the 3 dans of the Benny, which I liked. I liked the way that the head looked, the pattern on the head, and I was hoping that the Sumi was gonna retract a little, which is exactly what it's done. If you can see the amount of Sumi on that picture before it went into the mud ponds, and now what it is now, it's a lot more aesthetically pleasing, which is good. I really really do like this fish. This is probably one of my favorite fishes in the pond. So let's give it a quick measure, see what it is. So it's 56 cm. So 56 cm. Yeah, okay, 56 cm. So it was 44.5 cm in the Newark show. So that's 10 cm plus since Newark. So something's going right in the pond for that kind of growth, isn't it? You know. But I don't like taking chances, so let's get it back in with the soft net. Right, yeah then guys, this is my NND Shiro from the Donald Kerr bloodline. One of Wolfie's favourites, isn't it, Wolfie? So I bought this one again as Tozai, and I got the certificate here. It was actually, so at Tozai this was 25 cm, so I knew it had hellish growth potential for the variety. And obviously it's pretty much got Omosako blood in it as well. I think the parent set might have been, I think the female from Omosako from Donald Kerr, and I think possibly, don't quote me, okay Wolfie, that's enough baby. Don't quote me, but I think, Wolfie, please now, come on. I don't want him to touch it, I'll tell you why, because we've been fishing and his hands have been in the sand, so I don't want any cross-contamination in you. And I think it was one of the males from NND. But again, you know, I paid decent money for this, but nowhere near as much as it's worth now. That was the certificate when I bought it, and that's the parent. That's Donald Kerr's female parent from Omosako, 95 cm. So it's one hell of a fish it's come from, and who knows if I can get this over 75, I'd be pretty happy in this country. It's a female, acts like a male because it is absolutely full of beans. It's like mental. So first up to feed, you know, last down from feeding, bit of a character in the pond. It's got a nice personality, and yeah, done really well in the shows last year. Yeah, so this was 50 cm when it came back from Japan, probably about this time last year. Well, this time, no, would have been January or February last year. In the shows it was competing at, yeah, so in the national it was 50 cm, and that had a first actually, and it was the Shiro that came second to this was 54 cm, and it was a hell of a piece as well. So I was quite happy that this 4 or 5 cm smaller than that, and at what quality that was, this still came through and won over that one. So that proved to me that I had a nice fish here. Took it to the Newark, really good size category again. Obviously had a first in Newark for the variety. Also, the special variety for Newark was Shiro. It didn't get that, but possibly it should have. But anyway, you know, that's how the shows go. But anyway, super happy with this thing anyway. So let's see how big it is right now. See what he's put on, or she's put on, I should say. 50, 58 say. Probably more towards. I love you, Wolfie. Yeah. Right then, so if everyone can remember the 45 Tozai, 15 Sakai, 15 Momotaro and 15 Danichi that I bought at the beginning, well the 30th of December last year, this is the only one remaining from that batch. So, and ironically it's the smallest one from the batch. This has always been the smallest one, and when I picked this out it was probably about maybe 10 cm, but because of the quality of it and the pattern on it, I thought it was worth picking up. So I got this, and ironically, you know, all this, well, let's put it this way, this was a little smaller than Keith's Kawaka that we just had in there, which was what, 56 or 58 cm. So you can see this is it's got not much growth in it at all, but it's one of those fish that are so cool that I just can't get rid of it, and I think it's going to do really well in the shows next year. I just got a funny feeling that there's just nothing much not to like about it. The only thing that it could have done with is a little bit more of the Benny pattern on this flank here, maybe coming down here, and then it would have been really pretty. But the head on it, the pattern, that strawberry pattern, the Maritan on the front is really nice. Pec fins are lovely, you know. Again, you know, I'd like the front of that dorsal fin there to have been clean, but it's not. That's the way the cookie crumbles. But apart from that, the Marizumi Kiwa on the sides, lovely, you know, lovely, and Sashi's good on it. So yeah, it's a nice fish, that is. And like I said, you know, cost me £4,500 to find that one fish if you calculate how much I paid for all the others. But I did offload the others for the price that I paid, but they were all 4 times the size. So really, I paid £4,500 for that one fish, recuperated £4,400, and was left with that for £100, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's a good one. Let's see what it is. That one is 43 cm. 43 cm, and obviously, like you can see, Keith's one there was 56 or 57, I can't remember. You guys have just seen that now, so but it's a hell of a difference in the in them, do you know what I mean? It's got about the same growth rate. Let me get another fish out. February from Japan, from Yamashino. I think that's, I can never remember how to pronounce it, Yamashino. Very similar sizes, and they were very similar sizes when I bought them. So obviously this Sankey, I fell in love with it. Ryan was making up a box in Yamashino, and of the higher grade stock he's got. That's what Ryan does. He doesn't get anything sub quality. It's always the highest stock, and he's willing to pay more for it. This came out in a scoop, and it was in a bowl. There was no sumi up on that at all. All I could see was the body and I could see all the beni all at 45-degree angles cutting through the fish, and for me it was aesthetically really pleasing. And then I looked at it and there was nothing wrong with it. The fins were good, you know, nice clean dorsal. I could see where a majority of the sumi was going to come up, and I could see it was mostly at the time all sumi, which is you had this dissecting the beni from the first dan to the start of the Siroji, and then you had all the sumi coming through, and I really like that. So you know, apart from that, we have got some more specks coming through it, but I quite like it. I like it a lot, Jimmy. And what I paid for that fish was absolutely peanuts, because it was just a stocking filler. And I seen it and I went, Ryan, I said, I'll have that. I said, whack it in the box, I'll have that when it comes back. I said, it's just like a little fish that I fancy having a play around with and see how it will develop. And it's developed really good. Now, this was, if I would have done the Southeast Koi Show again, I would have taken about 5 fish with me. I would have taken the baby champion and the young champion and my shearer from Newark. I would have taken my Ginnering shower, my small shower, and I would have taken that, because that would have been 34 cm. And I haven't seen the fish that won baby champion in the Southeast, but Ryan was saying, I sent Ryan a picture of this, like days after maybe, and Ryan said, pal, honestly, if you would have taken that fish, that would have won baby champion on the day over that other fish. So I don't know what other fish had it, and I'm not taking anything away from that fish. I'm just going from someone who's got a lot better eye than me. At the time, this was a better fish. So that gives me a warm feeling inside that when you pick something so small and you've got an idea how it develops, and then it does develop like that, you're absolutely buzzing, aren't you, you know? So I know for a fact that that fish at the Southeast was 34 cm. So let's see what it is now. And now it is 41. So again, that's done 6 cm since the Southeast. So they're all doing pretty good, aren't they? You know, realistically. It's a little bit easier when you've got a bit of sedate in there. Right. Oh, it's been awkward. All right, you're going in backwards. Right, a year ago, I done a little grow-on event with exclusively koi. I believe this is Hoshikin. Is it Hoshikin? I'm sure it's Hoshikin. If it's not Hoshikin, it's someone else, but I'm sure it's Hoshikin. Now I bought this 20 cm or something like that. It was a 12-month grow and show, or a 6-month grow and show, or something like that. Believe it or not, I wasn't the first to pick. I only had a pick of maybe 4 or 5 left, and I thought I'd jump on board. £95 in it, a bit of fun, support the guys, and I picked this. So this, by a 4 or 5 millimeters, lost out on the growth where I grew it in my quarantine down there, my grow on, but it actually won like the quality award pretty much. Yeah, superb fish. £95, guys. You know, that's what you can get for £95 if you are patient and you just let it do what it's going to do. But it, absolutely gorgeous, you know. Look at the sashi and the kiwa. The kiwa, look, oh, lovely scalloping round there. It's got a really nice pattern on it as well. Obviously, it's I class it as a 3-step, even though this step is almost touching now, but it's a lovely 3-step, and it's so well balanced. It's got a nice bit of odame at the back, maybe a bit too much odame, but you know that you can't really take it away from that. Would like, yeah, it's the one fish that I never look at in the pond because it's got no merits or no defaults. I think it's just like the grey man in the pond, but there's nothing wrong with it, and it done really well in the shows last year. It had a couple of firsts in Newark and the National, no majors yet, but I think it's just something that when the judges judge it, they're marking things, but they can't really cross things, if you know what I mean. It's like, you know, like bland, but there's nothing bad about it. And I think that's the key sometimes. You know, you can either go mad with like that Keith's Kawako and get something really fruity, which is chalk and cheese, which will probably do really well in Japan, because it's how, when they judge things, it's how they feel. They look at it and it gives them a nice feeling, and that'll score probably higher. But in the UK, obviously they've got a little board where they tick things off, and that maybe is a little bit too radical for that system. I'm not too sure. Maybe I should do the judges course just to find out what's going on. If I've got a spare 7 years in my life, I might do it. But yeah, nice fish that is. But like I said, £95 when I bought it. Probably about 20 cm again last year. Really neat. Again, oh, let me sex it. I want to see what it is actually. I don't even know if it's male or female. We've got a female, so that's lucky, isn't it? So it's got no oboshi on it, and there's no man milk coming out. So again, winner winner, chicken dinner. Just shy of 50 cm, a couple of centimeters off, a couple of millimeters off 50 cm. So that's not bad. The thing is now, it's quite weird. I look at these fish now, 50 centimeters. Last year, my biggest fish in there was like 45 cm. And now this is 50 cm. So this would have been, this time last year, that would have been a monster in my pond. But now they seem to all be growing. You can't see what's going on unless you're measuring them. It's quite difficult. Especially when you come back from Japan for like 3 weeks and you see everything over there. Well, it's just a joke then. But like I said on my first video back, I'm not upset with anything I got there really, you know. I would have looked twice at all of these fish in any of the ponds there and would have liked them, do you know what I mean? Not sure I would have wanted to pay maybe £1,000 for that, but I definitely would have paid £95 for it a year ago when I did. So yeah, it's good. It's gorgeous, isn't it? That is bloody gorgeous. Oh, you're bloody gorgeous, you are. Go on, go and have some sake. Guys, so this is my Minamagoshki that I bought off Ryan on one of his little hunting trips. Now, I think this is 3 years old now. It's actually quite big for a goshki. Goshki don't grow very big. You know, if you can get a goshki to 70, 75 cm, you're doing pretty well. I don't know what this is yet, but I'm pretty sure it's over 60. And it's just gorgeous, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, that one Dan coming all the way through there is so consistent. I'm really looking forward to like the black coming through on the head in the central section here, and on the peduncle there. It's going to be amazing. And when that does happen, it's going to make that red look even more vivid. You can see it like with goshkis. I've been told that the sumi comes from the back, so you can see how black that is there, slightly less, and you can see this is coming on the nose. So when I had this fish about 6 months ago, it had literally a tiny speck there, and this was nowhere near as dark. If you go back on my videos, you'll probably see this bowled up at some point last year, but it almost looked like a kawaku, do you know what I mean? It was like just red and white, and that was it. But eventually, this fish will be hopefully jet black here, on the lateral line here then, and underneath will be lovely and white. So it'll have it all going on for the top, and then obviously it all going on from the side. So it's going to be really an exciting fish to watch. It did struggle a little bit. It lost a little bit of its benny in the National Koi Show because of the temperature fluctuations. It came back, had a couple of raised scales on it, which wasn't a problem, down underneath. They healed up pretty quick. PP bath, a little bit of salt, and they healed up within literally days. But it sort of pitted the benny a little bit. I've never seen it before. It almost looked like it had, oh, I don't know, you know, like when you've got a friend that's got those sort of like acne scars. It looked like pitting like that all across the benny. It's all come back now. and it's actually, I prefer it like this because you can actually see the scalation. When I first had it, it was so vivid and so strong that you couldn't even see the scalation in the Benny here. But eventually you can see, can you see the sumi coming on the sides here? So you'll have on all the Saroji around here, this black will solidify and just give it that amazing, you know, like two-tone from the side. Yeah, but this is from Minima Koi Farm, so like I said, I'm no expert, but I know most of the bloodlines in Japan, I think, come from Minima and Kano. Kano's goshkis are fantastic as well, but Minima, I think possibly would be the boy. I don't know. Like I said, I could be wrong, but I think it's definitely got the minerals to do well. And I just can't wait for that sumi to come up on the face. It's gonna give it so much character. Massive character. You're gonna shoot it, yeah? Oh, there we are. Cheers for that. I'm sure you're gonna appreciate that. But let's measure it really quick. Just a smidge under 60 cm, so that's not done too bad. I can't remember what size it was when I got it, but I think it might have been 50 or something like that. Nothing massive, but like something like that. Ishi mesh. You watch the window then, yeah? Oh yeah. There we are, guys. So, little Ginnerin Goshki that I've kept. That was really small last year. Well, it must have been about 18 or 20 cm. Again, Goshkis don't grow crazily. And then you've got the Ginnerin on top of that again, so it's never going to be a massive fish, but it's pretty. It's got a really nice gin to it, and you can see all of the sumi starting to come up on the nose. I don't think these ever go jet black because you've got the Ginnerin factor on these. But yeah, nice fish. I've had so many Ginnerin Goshkis now that I'm sort of like almost over them, but I do like this one. I believe this one's either Hiroi or Kano, because Kano does some, well, I was in Kano when I was in Japan a month ago or something, and yeah, his Goshkis are definitely amazing, and his Kajakus are like insane as well. You can touch it, baby, because you've got a dirty jacket on, alright? But yeah, it's a nice fish. It's all right. It's got a bit of red on one of the, is it the anal fin there? Oh no, on one of the, that's what you call those fins. The other fins underneath, anyway. But yeah, I'll keep up for a little while. It is quite a nice fish. We'll see what it's like, and let's get a measure. Steve likes the old Ginnerin ones, do you, Steve?
Oh yeah.
Excuse me. And that one is 46 cm. So the good thing, that's a nice one, isn't it? So yeah, so it's 46 cm, and the good thing with that is at this point, 46 cm, if I can get that another 8 cm on that before the national, that'll probably do okay. It's done okay in all the other shows. It's always come back with something. Fair dues to it. Fair dues to it. Yeah. Good little fish, that. Well done, pal. Yeah, good little fish. Right then, so this is one of Takano's male Sankis that I got. So Ricky and Ryan selected this for me last year, and it came over It's male, obviously, but like, you know, it didn't do that good in the shows last year. I took it to one show, but at the time, it was all head and no body. It's got a big head on it. And it's gonna, I think next year, the body is gonna suit the head, if you know what I mean. But if you just look at the quality of that, like, it is a joke. Look at the skin. It's just insane. Such a cool fish. But like I said, there's a lot of head there. But again, when you buy a fish, you go for a big head anyway, don't you? Trust me, this thing feeds like a monster. And it's just got such nice qualities all the way through it. So I'm hoping this is going to do really nice in the shows, do really well in the shows next year. It's got a lovely clean dorsal fin all the way through those dams. It's got a lot of dams towards the back end. But yeah, it's just nice. It's just neat. Nice. Look at that size. Look at the sachet and the look at that all scalloping down there. Sachet and sachet and the kiwa is amazing on it. There's like little bits everywhere. It's so busy, but it's all neat little attributes everywhere on the fish, you know. So hopefully that's going to do quite well. I can't remember what size I bought it. I think I bought it at 50 cm. His normal fish come out about 50 cm. Like the new Sankey I got from him is 50 cm as well. A little bit different style to this one, but and what's this? 57 cm now. So I'm hoping it's going to still keep growing. I'm slowly upping the feed in here now, so over the course of the winter, I think I'm just going to keep that at 24 degrees, cook them, and really get some growth on them, ready for the national, which is going to be absolutely superb. I am looking forward to it. It's going to be good. So hopefully, by the national next year, what did I say that was then?
57.
57, that's good. 57, 58, 59, 60. Hopefully I can get that to about 63, 64 before the national. And that should stand a decent chance in that category, I would have thought. But you never know what anyone's taking, do you? Right then guys, so I've just come back from a radio control adventure with Wolf. Steve's gone a few hours ago. So I've got a little radio control car, little rock crawler. Daddy's toy, and Wolf's got one as well, so sometimes we go out and have a little walk around and do that. But yeah, it's been a good day for me and Wolf. Mummy's coming home a little bit later. She's stuck in traffic, bless her, in Swindon. There's flies past her everywhere. So I'll run her a bath and give her a nice steak dinner when she comes home. But yeah, it was nice to get the fish out, to be honest. A little bit of a measure just to scope things out, see how things are going. Yeah, very pleased with things. The pond's running great. Auto feeder is set again now. So the water's not going to be as clear as that again for a little while, I can tell you that now. It'll start, I don't know, maybe pea souping up again by the amount of food I'm going to put in there. But what I'm actually going to do this week as well is the mind your own business here and down there is spectacular. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to harvest some more from behind my shop. I'm going to put it in pots, and I'm going to put the pots around there because, believe it or not, a mate called Lyndon gave me that, and that's in a massive big grey pot. It's just overwhelmed everything, and I think that's a good thing because it keeps moisture inside. That down the bottom end there is just sat on the pure concrete, and it's just loving life anyway. But that's next level. So well done, Lyndon. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to close this all down. I'm going to make me and Wolf some fillet steak and chips, and yeah, little update in it, guys. Sorry, I've not been doing many posts and footage, but life takes over a little bit. And to be honest, 3 weeks in Japan, even though it was a holiday of a lifetime, actually coyed me out. It was fantastic, but I've just had to like take a week or 2 weeks just to sort of like take everything in and imbibe everything, and just realise like how much I learnt when I was over there for that period of time. Absolutely fantastic. But Ryan's over there at the moment now, down south. There is a high possibility that I'm going to go back in January. I'm not going to lie, and possibly February. Let's see how life pans out, and let's see how much I can save. And yeah, and I have been invited to the Koi Water Barn Dubai new shop opening as well. So that might be really good. That might be really good. So I might, I don't know, and that's in December. So I think December the 20th. So we'll have to see what goes on there. But I do like old Tony. He is a bit of a character. So it might be nice to pop over and see him. So anyway, from me, from my fish, from my nice pump house, I'll see you in the next one.